So yesterday, Benny Johnson posts a picture, okay? Rob, if you can pull up Benny Johnson's picture. This you have to realize what world we're living in. Benny Johnson, go on his Instagram account, 'cause I don't know if it's going to be on there. Benny Johnson posted this picture that was going viral all over the place, okay? And when you looked at this picture right there, you see how Bad Bunny to the left burning the American flag?
Yeah.
Click on that. Okay, look at that picture. Coming soon to halftime. I don't like that.
Is that a real picture?
No, it's not.
Oh.
But that's the point. The first reaction you had is that a real picture? How many people you think believe that's a real picture? How many people you think when they see that on Benny's following think that's a real picture?
Yeah.
That's a deep fake picture. So we're living in a time, and by the way, there's another one that he's stepping out and all this other stuff. We're living in a time that you have to look at everything and have Grok double check with ChatGPT, because one of them, like, look, even the video with the president that posted, you know which video I'm talking about? The video with, in the jungle, that whole video. Okay. And you have to watch the video. Rob, if you want to put this video, so they probably didn't QC this. Click on this, Rob, let it play.
Machine that counts the votes. A Telit 4G wireless chip manufactured in Taiwan
Watch this, folks.
was discovered embedded into the motherboard. The voting machine tapes clearly indicate modem engagement and transmission of election data. Right. Some of the anomalies that we noticed in the 2020 general elections, that 5 key states all stopped counting at a certain time in these key battleground states. These were all where the software, the mini machines, the SNS machines were used, the Smartmatic, the GEMS software. So when the vote stopped counting, and this has been noted in other countries as well, President Trump was significantly ahead. When reporting and counting resumed, there was a massive spike occurred that favored Joe Biden.
Okay. So then that video comes up, okay? So guess what the president didn't do? They didn't QC the whole thing at the end. And they retweeted that video, okay? And the president was asked about it. By the way, if you've seen the whole video, Rob, if you can play the whole video.
But the music I would love
without the music, okay? And just visualize, that the song is being played in the background. Just turn off the music. Go ahead. So that's Barack and Michelle, okay? And then it goes to Hillary Clinton. Is that
Hakeem Jeffries?
Yeah. AOC. And is that Newsom?
Yeah.
That's a bad Newsom. That's Pritzker and what's
Schiff,
his name?
Adam
Schiff.
Schiff.
Schumer and Mamdani. Okay. Biden and Kamala Turtle. Okay. It's funny. Jeffries is back singing. Okay. And then there's the lion in the jungle. Okay. And the president shows up. He's the lion. Who's that? The pig? Is that anybody, Rob, or no?
I think it's a content creator chick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
got it. So anyway, so is
Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah. So you got. So this is the whole clip. Whoopi is also in there. Anyways, they're not missing anybody. You can pause it right there. So this video is posted. Okay. How much you think the president knew? By the way, here's his reaction to it. Go ahead, Rob.
But I spoke to Tim Scott. He was great. Tim is a great guy. He understood that 100%. Go ahead.
Mr. President.
Yeah, Tim Scott said this is the most racist thing he's ever seen. I think that's what he said.
And then this is the full comment.
Go for it.
So, do you have any questions, John?
Mr. President, social media post that you took down earlier today, the White House says that a staffer sent it. Who sent it, and are you going to fire them?
No, I looked at it. I saw it, and I just looked at the first part. It was about voter fraud in someplace, Georgia. There was a lot of voter fraud, 2020 voter fraud. And I didn't see the whole thing. I guess during the end of it, there was some kind of a picture that people don't like. I wouldn't like it either, but I didn't see it. I looked at the first part, and it was really about voter fraud and the machines, how crooked it is, how disgusting it is. Then I gave it to the people. Generally, they look at the whole thing, but I guess somebody didn't, and they posted, and we took it down, and we took it. But that was a voter fraud that nobody talks about. They don't like to talk about that post. we took it down as soon as we found out about it.
Mr. President, a number of Republicans are calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake. I mean, I look at a lot of thousands of things, and I looked at the beginning.
You can pause it
of it,
right
was
there.
fine.
You can pause it right there. Okay, intentional, accidental. What do you think?
Well, first of all, by the way, has anybody ever seen Donald Trump on a phone, on a cell phone, tweeting or nothing? As everybody knows, he's telling people what to do. They kind of write it in the moment. They edit it, and then they post it. From what you're seeing, it's somebody is watching a video, and then they scroll, and then they go back down by accident. I don't know when that AI video was made. The person puts their @ sign on there. But if you think about it, if that was just a regular video from Donald Trump, nobody would ever see the cheating video, correct? Yeah, no, they're cheating. The machines are rigged. 2020, we keep hearing stuff. Tulsi Gabbard's in Georgia. They're getting all these ballots. Now, because of that, it might have been intentional, because if you think about it, now everybody has to watch that video and hear about cheating, and then boom, that came up and then went away. So that means everybody, Democrat, Republican, Independent, you had to watch that video. So in a messed up way, it might have been intentional, because now all the attention is there. Because when I watched that, Pat, I went and another video came up from that on X. Rob, can you play this video? This was in 2020. Remember that jump that happened, that chart that went like this, and then Joe Biden got 100 and
hockey stick.
A hockey stick, which is it's never happened before. So that led me, think about it. What if I don't know about any of this cheating? Rob, can you play this video really quick? This is from America Stands, and listen to what this guy's saying.
There was not a Trump vote in there.
Look, not
They
one
all
Trump vote.
And you do not have a place in any state. Maybe Dixville's Notch, where there were 5 voters at the first thing, and they all 5 voted for Biden. Maybe there.
You know who that
but
is?
not
That's
when you
David
have something
Barton.
of 138,000. You don't all break that way.
Watch out.
And it still shouldn't be linear, because you have so many counters that are counting across the way
Not
that they're
one
all
vote.
tallying and reporting, and you don't bunch them in and report one thing. So that doesn't look right for the process. It certainly does not look right for the fact that there is no
This is
place
a
of
brilliant
138,000.
guy named David Barton.
Brilliant. And he basically,
Yeah.
so think about this. I'm not saying it's a good thing that it happened, but you never know when it comes to this freaking administration. Because of that, that was the next video on my feed. And I went, wait a minute. That's actually, that chart, it's impossible for that to happen, which is the main part of the video, is that they cheated in 2020.
Tom, what do you think? You think they knew?
So did the president know? But thank you, Vinny.
Yep.
So did the president know? Do I think he knew that there was a voter, the Dominion video? Yeah, I think he knew that. We've seen pictures of him sitting with the staffer talking about how the tone he'd like to have on certain tweets. The White House has given America a glimpse into that to see how the president does it. But with everything that's going on and the number of tweets and the number of comms that comes out of the White House and it comes out on True Social, does he see everyone? No. I think the person that put it there, I think that was a staff problem and put it up the back. They thought it would be funny, but it was the voter fraud tweet. I believe he knew about it, but I think the staffer blew it, because that, even when Trump trolls hard, that's two different things.
What percentage of his tweets you think he doesn't tweet?
I think there's probably a third to a half that are from comms that are on message, and then there's some of the hard.
I disagree. You know what's the what platform 100% of what's posted is me today. It could change in 10 years. 100% of everything you see on X is me. 100% of what you see from PBD Podcast Instagram, it's not me. Matter of fact, nothing on PBD Podcast Instagram, it's me. It's all stuff that's cut, clip, and it's posted there, right? Personal Instagram, today I'm not that active on personal Instagram, but on personal Instagram, if we do cut clips and I'll say post it, 90% of what you see on Instagram is me. 10% is because they cut it, they post it, right? To me, I do think that's him. Then I have to go to the part about, because, you can't one side give credit and then the other side be like, well, no, it's not. I don't think. No, I think it's, and I'll come to you. To me, I think it is him. The other part is, it's not a big deal. Just put it in there. Do I think the trolling side of Trump would like to put that? And remember, that could have been any other animal. It could have been any other animal and nobody would have reacted to it. It could have been on a dog, on a horse, on because it's monkey, it's what allows them to go back and do all this other stuff. Now, any other president would have known how to handle it. Trump knows how to handle it and he moves on. and this will be a done story within the next couple days. And you got to give credit to Caroline Levitt that, Rob, you were bringing it up this morning, the fact that she said, hey, they're doing this after Dow hit 50,000 for the first time in the history of America. And that day when AI was a massive drop and $600 billion of money was lost because of AI companies, boom, recovered, Dow hits 50,000. But they kind of want to get away from that as well. So both can be right. I do think, folks, let me tell you, we have 12 codes that we follow in the company here. At Bet David Consult, at Valuetainment, 12, okay? And we have a full-on culture deck. When people that work with our company, they go through this culture deck. Rob, if you want to go to vtmerch.com, for people that want to get a culture deck, people started asking about it, and we said if you want to buy it, people can literally see what we do with our culture deck here for $20. It's the manual of what we do with our culture in our company. And one of the 12 points that we do here with the company, you know what it is? QC everything. QC everything. We QC in finance. We QC in, production. We QC in Bet David Consulting, in Minect, everything. And by the way, every single time there's a mistake, guess what happens? It's due to a what? A lack of QC. What's QC? Quality control, right? We get it with every single clip. We've done it. There was a massive QC issue with, what was that interview we did in Brazil? And we came back? Bolsonaro. There was a massive QC issue. Guys, Rob, how massive was that one?
Oh, pretty bad.
Massive. So everybody makes these mistakes. But if you want to find out what it is, Rob, put the link below for people to be able to find it easily on the culture deck. But for me, this is a QC issue. I put 80, 90% QC, and there's 10% of me that he thought it would create enough noise, Vinny, going back to your point, to say I think what people will go look at the other stuff on seeing what happens. Adam, final thoughts.
I'll just say this. This was double dumb, at the very least. At the very most, this was stupid and racist. So are you kidding me? QC, whatever you want to call it, unforced errors, shooting yourself in the foot. You're going to put a video where you want to draw attention to voter fraud, and you're going to put the Obamas as monkeys? Are you stupid? Somebody should be fired. And that's fine. I've been very acknowledging of how great I think the Trump administration is doing. This might be up there with one of the dumbest things they've done. And I'll tell you why. Everyone accuses Trump of being racist. He's not racist. He's got black people. He's got Latino people. He's got gay person, Scott Besson. He's not racist. You hear the stories of why he's not racist. But this is going to tell people, I told you he was racist. I told you he thought. And are you kidding me? This is so stupid and bigoted and dumb. And I don't think this is Trump's fault. But heavy is the head that wears the crown. This is going to come to him. And now nobody's talking about voter fraud. They're talking about what you did to the Obamas. And I'll give one last point to the Trump team. Go after the Clintons. Nobody cares. Go after Kamala. She's a fool. Go after Sleepy Joe. Stop attacking the Obamas. But there's no benefit to attacking the Obamas. Whether you disagree with them politically or not, they're still beloved in America. Among black people, among liberals, there's even some conservatives that at least respect the type of father he is, type of person he is. So there's a lot of people that are upset by this.
Guy connected me yesterday. Guy connects me yesterday, and he said something very interesting to me yesterday. I don't want to give his name out because he's very active and he sends me some unique messages. He says, you noticed who wasn't on the Epstein files? I said, who? He says, notice Netanyahu wasn't in the Epstein files. I said, where are you going with this? I'm not doing none of these additional Netanyahu is this, Netanyahu is a great, all this other stuff. He says, no, he wasn't in the Epstein file. Do you know why? I said, why? He said, Barack Obama worked so hard to make Israel's left win. Ehud Barak, was he a Republican or was he a Democrat? Would he be considered
he was more on the left.
He was more on the left.
Yeah.
Was Epstein more on the left or the right?
Left.
Was Clinton more on the left or the right?
Left.
So if you notice a pattern here, okay, the people on pattern here, even Trump when he had a relationship with Epstein, what side was Trump on when he had a relationship with Epstein? Back in the days when he would go, he was on the left. Trump was a Democrat.
He openly said he'd vote. He gave them money.
Of course, but he openly said he was a Democrat, and then he chose to run as a Republican. So there's some, and by the way, the reason why, and then I asked him a question. I said, I get what you're saying with Netanyahu not being on the Epstein files. I said, guess what the liberals are also saying? What? Obama wasn't on the Epstein files. So where is that at? He says, well, that was intentional because it is. So there's a lot of stuff. And then there's a lady that came out. I don't know if you guys saw this clip or not. Lady came out and said, Rob, if you have this clip, she said, you're a loser if you weren't on the Epstein files. Did you guys see this clip?
No.
This lady comes out. Rob, I think you have it. I have it somewhere right here. Go ahead, Rob. Watch this. You got to do the audio again. Yeah.
Everybody that was very powerful. So like if you were on the scene and you were powerful, like to be honest, like if you're not in those files, it would be an insult because it just means that you were a bit of a loser.
Right. So the people who aren't in the files are losers.
Yes.
Okay. Are you in the files?
Well, of course I am, because it's any journalist that wrote about it.
That's an astonishing attitude.
Astonishing, and said it like that.
You can pause it right there, Vinny. Go ahead.
And well, Adam, we're talking about when you said, by the way, let me say this first, horrible. Obviously, putting the monkeys and doing all that. And by the way, it was a scroll. It's not like they made the video. The video's been on the internet for God knows how long.
You're the president of the United States, buddy. You should have 15 people checking your social media.
Adam.
You already had a chance to say that it was dumb, but now you want to retract your statement?
No, I'm not saying that. No.
Go ahead.
I'm not retracting a damn thing because I'm about to check you for saying
check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Don't mess with the Obamas.
Let him finish.
Don't mess with the Obamas. You're talking about the same Obama that is the one that had the meeting at the White House with Hillary, with Brennan, with Comey and everybody, and said, we're going to take this fake dossier and we're going to try to destroy and take the will away from the American people who voted for Trump. He was the one that was spying on him. He started all of it while he was still sitting in the White House. So guess what? To hell with Obama. He put us through 5 years of Russia collusion. Dude, I lost friends. I stopped talking. Family members started hating me. He's a Putin puppet, all that stuff. So to hell with him, okay? Obama, what he did to this freaking country, and the fact that Trump won fair and square. You want me to feel bad for Obama for what he put us through, for everything that he did? Adam, I'm not condoning what was done, but you think Trump's going to apologize for anything when it comes to Obama? He made his life a living hell. And who was in charge during Biden administration? Who do you think? Remember when Obama said, if there was a way for me to put an earpiece in my ear and sit in the basement, that's what he was doing.
And have a third term. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Oh, wouldn't that be interesting? Well, who was in charge, Adam? Yep. So that's the reason where Trump is like, I don't give a damn about Obama. Okay, he ruined him. He started the whole thing.
No, I think he has to go after Obama.
Yeah,
I think he has to go after Obama.
Me too.
And the reason why, Adam, I think he has to go after Obama is, here's how this works. If you go for the head of the throne, if you go for the head of the snake, if you go for who is the top right now? It's not the Clintons.
No.
They're old timers.
Yeah.
By the way, even Democrats are no longer defending them. Who is left? Who does he have to destroy for the left to lose credibility? Don't forget, Obama did everything in his power to make sure these guys didn't win. He colluded on their election, on what was going on, their campaign. This is and Trump's not going to forget. The one thing about hardcore competitors, and I'm talking psycho competitors, not competitors. Psycho competitors. I went up against this one guy in the insurance business. He was a psycho competitor. Both of us are. One day after the whole thing was done, and the same company bought both of us, we're sitting there having conversation together, and we're reminiscing about the games both sides played.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's telling me his stuff. I'm like, listen, what you did there was very dirty. He starts cracking up. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, you know what you did? He's like, but you did this, but what about this? And what about, so we're kind of going back and forth. I'm like, look, I get it. But either way, it was nasty, right? I think take the game out, take the cameras out. They're sitting together, they're laughing at each other, okay? Meaning they're laughing together and they're telling these stories because they're both psycho competitors. But if you actually play the game, Trump has to destroy Obama. He has to. That idea has to be gone. The fact that his ideology and all, if he's playing the game for 2026, 2028, he has to do that. And the part that he doesn't have to do is this monkey business. This is stuff you don't have to. What are you doing? This is noise stuff. By the way, if I'm the opposing side, you just made it so easy for me to call you anything I want for 2026, 2028 midterms. It's easy. Now I can say you're racist. Now I can say this stuff. So I think that's a part of it where you don't want to give them an ounce. They're going to run with it. So that part I agree with. The statistic when I'm looking at this on what's happening with PBD Podcast, more ladies are starting to watch PBD Podcast, and it keeps climbing, okay? And, of course, we all know why that is. We have Vinny on the show, and we have Tom on the show. And we do have Adam on the show, okay?
Not so much.
But the ladies are starting to watch the podcast more and more. A lot of mothers and families and ladies who are getting on here. So, fellas or ladies, Rob, if you can go a little bit lower for Valentine's Day, if you want to get a Stefano Ricci collaboration tie with Valuetainment, these are limited numbered. We have them there, but also if you go a little bit lower for the ladies, the pink hats are here. By the way, these pink hats are pink Future Looks Bright hat. Rob, can you please click on it? Especially with Valentine's Day being around the corner. Go there. Okay, Future Looks Bright, pink hats. What on the bottom, if you keep going, it's a beautiful hat, by the way. Every time you see somebody wearing this, it pops. If you, ladies, you say you watch it, if you want to represent the Future Looks Bright hat, so when you're walking in the mall, you're at the gym, you're at work, you put this on, other people say, wait a minute, me too. I watched that show as well. I'm also a Valuetainer. Click on the link below. Get yourself one of these pink hats or some of the red gear that we have, especially with Valentine's Day being around the corner. It's the most expensive day of the year for me because it's my wife's birthday that day. My wife's born on Valentine's Day, and it's Valentine's Day. But we got a soccer tournament this weekend for us instead of Valentine's Day. So we got some stuff that we got to do because there's a soccer tournament. Anyways, go to vtmerch.com.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.